Hello there, welcome back to Charles Circle, and welcome back to Captain of Industry. Last time, we kicked off an ambitious project to double the production of our Electronics 2 factory. Today, we'll upgrade our assemblies and finish all of the raw material production buildings we blueprinted last time. We did already build some power capacity, as well as the glass production, using the latest and greatest tech we've unlocked. We were just about to apply that same tech to upgrade our main glass production downtown too, so let's jump right into that work. See you shortly. Alright, y'all. This is it. I know that no one is nearly as excited about it as I am, but I did manage to get the cooling tower in here for our arc furnace 2s, and as a result, was also able to tuck back both of these storages so that they actually respect the original boundary of the road, which is something we lost when we upgraded to big storages. They stick out further than our old ones. But I'm pretty pleased with that. I suppose that means I should connect this here too, but that's very doable. How exciting is this? There's even a tiny bit of road access here, which is, I don't know, not necessary, but not a bad thing, although we're going to have to... Actually, there's not road access because I needed to rebuild that belt, but it is rebuilt. But yeah, check this out. One thought I had, it's a decision I made but didn't externalize, is that we made an implicit decision out here when we built this to not have the recycled glass recipe. That's because I don't want recycling coming all the way across the dang map. That was also true here, right? For copper. But we not only accept, we prioritize it out here, right? It is prioritized in this balancer for copper and in this balancer for glass. So we do absolutely want to do that out here still. But yeah, so this is this system, I believe, all up and running. We're actually kind of out of parts 3. Okay. But yeah, so this should be more glass than we know what to do with. Oh. Although, one of the things we could do with it would be to transport it, probably. So maybe we'll do that. But yeah, this really did allow us to tidy up a lot of stuff. The water main's cleaner now. I will prioritize that input. This is a branch now of the water main. It can continue if we need it somewhere else. And we didn't have to change much out here, which is cool. It's no longer necessary. Same slag line. Our exhaust line could even, if we wanted, be tidied up a little bit. I guess it can't stay on the ground all the way through, and it couldn't even stay on level 1 all the way through, but we could have it be less obnoxious than it currently is. So might as well do that. Just a quick bump over that. Interesting question. I suppose we should put it up to 3. Just to be safe, which means that this should also get upgraded. Easy enough on both fronts. Alright. What alerts have we been ignoring? Still not enough electronics too? Right, I don't need the alert here. I need the alert here, where it still is. That's good. And I don't need this alert now that we've built this backup, although I will ask for that one. Okay, so this is actually drifting down over time. So we do, I think, genuinely need to have this firing on occasion. Maybe that's actually something we could do. Is just connect this up here. Okay, I think that's fine. We're gonna keep iterating on this, apparently. Cool. Let's finish up all the little guys. But please tell me we're finally doing. So now it's a poly issue because you don't have sand. Oh my gosh. How is our sand production going? This is good. I think. Alright, so he's allowed to do anything. I think we're gonna ask this guy, or tell this guy, that he can also do whichever is required. But this should hopefully smooth things out. Finally. You're running smoothly. You're running smoothly. It's really stuffed to the gills for a second here. Settlement is full of trash. Guys. You don't have water. Okay. Oh my gosh, this pipe is facing the wrong direction. All right, let's try that again. The good news is this thing, when it's really cranking it out, can haul through a bunch of trash. Almost 300 a minute. My goodness. Yes, I mean, this is adding up. And eventually, we'll discharge it and have some, yeah, coal avoidance. If these are both firing at this at the same time, we may not actually need to be boosting both, but since we're at Unity cap, who cares, I guess. You know what we can do. We left space for this. That would allow us to turn this one back on more full-time, and this one. Oh, it's such a mess. No, not that. So, this is only back on now because we actually have added a third turbine, right? Which means that this may now also justify spinning. So, to be clear, right, we haven't at all backtracked on our decision to take the steam out of the exhaust scrubber. We are simply expanding the throughput of our traditional power sources, given that we have byproducts we want to burn. Like, it's actually not spending coal at all, right? No coal going through here. We need to get rid of this, so that's good. And let's use some of that power, huh? Good. These are all working very well. So I would say, shall we upgrade maybe one of these lines? We'll go horizontally because each of these requires its inputs to double as well, right? And one of the things that it'll definitely do is increase our consumption of electronics 1. We may not actually have enough of that quite yet, but I think that's a good start. Does that mean we need more teraflops? Probably. So let's do that. Silica, because sand is still our bottleneck here. How's that train coming? Here's one. Hey, this guy's full on copper now as a result. Let's fix that by simply improving. Frankly, all of these should be enormous buffers. So that should help absorb the extra copper currently in that train. It'll probably take one more run, but it should help with the sand. We can also start producing sand locally here in a little bit, but I would like to finish this mine. It'd be nice to sort of wrap up with this area. You know, it really opens up this entire section of the map if we don't have to worry about that. I continue to be impressed by how long this coal mine is lasting. I mean, we're very nearly to the point where we're gonna have to start scraping here. But it is hanging in there. That's not fully full. Yeah, we're just getting a decent amount of rock, fortunately, at this point, so our rate is not super impressive. What? He must be refueling. Probably would have been a good idea to have a fuel station out here, like a long time ago. Not gonna bother at this point, but can we take another battle, maybe? Or we said we're 430. Maybe not that battle. This one, though. Yeah. Still short on storage there. Yeah, so now he'll be fully drained of copper, which should allow him to bring sand next time too. I think we can take a cruiser now, finally. Yeah. Got him down to less than half health before he even got a shot off. Nice. Radar. Very good. I think, yeah, we even have the ability to do one more spot. Exploration in progress. Well, I'm not going to sit here and wait for that. Here's some sand. It's an interesting pattern of fill. More loot. Now hopefully he pulls up so that this is here. Perfect. All right, good. So the sand is going. Should get this going. This is where I would love to be boosting. But that's an arc furnace for you. All right, cool. So this is getting sorted. I think this helped. Obviously just transferred it over here. But I like that. I think that was a good idea. Here it comes. Wow, different heights. Why are those taller? Maybe they're two. I don't know. We are full up on copper, but not glass. Interesting. What's happening here? Or rather, what's not happening here? The steam is an issue. The water is full. Interesting. So we're actually not consuming enough water downstream, which is not what I thought was going to be happening. Let's prioritize it from here. Maybe that'll help. It does. That's cool. That means that we don't have to pull as hard on our water supply down here, which should trickle down, I think, the savings all the way back to here, if I had to guess. Because our reservoirs are, yeah, doing great. That's awesome. Everything that requires electronics too is still hurting though. We are finally catching up. Just a bit. Oh no, I thought we removed these. Was pretty sure we did. All right, we have the truck network, we have the sand supply. I'm tired of waiting. That is now allowed, as is this. Get over here. A swarm of trucks, please come resolve my impatience. Or, yeah, you can't actually reach. You think we can fit one more crossing in here? Ah, water pipe pillar. My old nemesis. Well, the sand's coming. It's too bad it can't reach. I mean, it's good. Save me from myself, from letting my impatience ruin the proper structure of the system, but probably for the best, huh? But the train is working. These guys should all catch their breath in a second. Anything under 430? That's under 430. More ship upgrades. All right, this is working, which means, tell me when we built a mainframe computer, huh? This means that our production rates are not sufficient. Like, if these are all working, and they are, then we're consuming more than we're producing. And what are we consuming? We are consuming, yeah, I mean, it's spiky, but at its peak, we're consuming 50 or so. And if we're only making 60 when this is working perfectly, then we have a little bit of trouble on our production rates. So maybe we should build all this. Yeah, what the heck, right? How hard do you think I'm going to regret that? 6 megawatts, 36 megawatts. Yeah, I mean, like, we genuinely probably cannot afford that. Come, my little trucks, come bankrupt us. I think we do need to get one of these in here, because as I'm thinking about it, like, we are going to end up mining sand one place or another. I mean, the other way we could do this is turn this into also copper storage and put the sand here and then flip the direction of the belts. That might be a little bit more likely, honestly. There goes the power, huh? But for example, this is a sand mine, after all. And we could simply dump over there. In fact, where is even, yeah, there's a mining tower here already. Although, I kind of hate the location. Probably do more like this. So let's do that. We'll need an ore sorter. Just a small one is fine here, I think. You know what, in fact, why not just... Why not just do that? Yep. Low on coal. Alright, so then what we need to do is figure out where we're pulling excavators from. Or we could increase the size of our truck network, add some, or at least add them back, because I think the simplest thing to do is that. And we'll tell you go ahead and dump in this area anyway, right? Longer necessary. We'll be able to pause and actually, frankly, delete all of these as soon as these ones are all up and running. Ooh, we need a whole bunch of parts 4 for that, though, which requires electronics 2. Here's a question. Yeah, we do have a bunch in the boat because all this stuff is in the way. I really don't care about most of these things. They are pretty low value to us. And as much as I would normally go through the trouble of trying to find a good use for them, that is not happening right now, especially when we need all those parts. You may dump here and here. They added this recently. You can auto-assign products. I haven't really worked with it much, but I would have thought it would have added rock and dirt here. And I am going to suddenly ask, our truck network to fill this up. Then I am going to start flipping the direction of these belts, I guess. All right, so this is working. We're starting to pull in sand from here. Tremendous. The nice thing about sand mines, at least at the top, they're all super pure until you start scraping the bottom, so they definitely get going nicely. Alright, I now feel comfortable deleting all of these. This, I will say, these actually keep empty, this big dumb belt that I never really liked can now go away. This buffer system is now explicitly just about keeping empty. This can all go. And this actually changes to copper now. Probably the best way to use this. We'll still let this drain out, but then we're gonna have to merge up those lines. And this is now how sand is delivered. Adjust and adapt your facilities over time as the situation of your base changes, I suppose. Although this guy has sand in him now that I can't do much with. Kinda think we have to empty that. Probably just a quick reset there. That's a little wasteful, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Right, we definitely need poly. Oops. But I'm gonna make, let's call it this one, most urgent. Oh, and we change this back. I'll even say, please do boost. Maybe even you. Why do you keep picking up? Alright, I think we just need to change the line here. Load copper only. Alright, sand is officially draining out here. Which means it'll almost be time in a moment to flip these belts. That's good, this one's working. Get this going next. Actually, do we need a second crusher? I think we do, right? So one crusher unboosted handles all 4 of these, which means we need another crusher unboosted to handle these, or we could just boost this one. I think for now we'll just boost this one. But if we need to add another one, we can definitely do it over here. It's no problem at all. Okay, so to flip you, 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 we go. Sand now fully supplied from here. Cool. Power is a problem. Coal. I'm so tired of resetting trains. Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything about the sand in them. Interesting. I think we scrap it. Because we only need 2 anyway. What I think we need is another coal importer. Although, no, we don't. We need more actual coal supply. All right, so this means, actually, that we need to adjust our mine here. So I'll do that real quick. I think that we need to get this coal mine up and running as we transition off the other one. So let's do that real quick. That'll also mean that we need to get a new coal train running from up here down to here. And this line built for export. Okay, so that means 2 new train lines. This, I think, old line will keep going for now, but we'll change this factory coal import line to be, instead of from the coal mine export, we'll say this coal export route. And this will be load up, and this will be unload. We will, of course, need these to be load coal. But that's one change, and the other is we'll need to bring coal from up here to down. That's a new line with a new train, but I think it looks something like this. And we'll need to set that line up. We'll call this coal manufacturing. Actually, we call this coal transshipment hub import. Okay. He should roll out here in a moment. So this line is still bringing coal over here, right? And he'll keep going until this mine is completely out. But this guy should now come up here and collect export coal and bring it down to the electronics factory. In the meanwhile, we're hanging on tight here. But we are back in the coal vein, so we should be okay. And I think just to be safe, we'll grab a little bit more here. All right, you're now repaired. Let's do that. I think we might need a little bit of a steel loan just to get through this coal transition real quick, though. We can borrow coal. Well, yeah, let's just do that, huh? Up here, we'll continue to add to the new mine. And hey, that's our new coal train. He doesn't have anything to show for it quite yet, but that's all right. Wow, look at that. Bertha is a proper warship at this point. Look at that. Very fun. And 480. Okay. What can we do with 480? I guess we have to load the crew again. Whoops. I think we finally have consistent electronics too. We even have 1,000 stored up, which means that we are probably at least starting to fill up in here. So that's very good. That is another coal. Let's see it. A cruiser and a patrol ship. Can we handle that? That cruiser's toast. Patrol ship too. Nice. Very cool. Groundwater well. This is like an oil rig, but just for like water. So there's value in that too. We can keep cleaning all of this up. Cool. Maintenance is a problem. Recycling full. We finally make more than we can handle here, or our iron scrap is full. Fascinating. Why is iron scrap full? It's actually not. It's that copper scrap is full. We're not making enough copper over here because probably sand. Nope, exhaust. Interesting. Ah, missed this alert, didn't we? So let's try this out. I think this is going to require water, like also maybe kind of a lot of water. We're going to find out. We definitely need a backup though for... Oh wow, and just like that. No, it probably is only at 50% because that's how much you can get with low steam. Okay, okay. All right, but I need to have a backup here. So a pipe balancer. Priority out, but yeah, even just a small smokestack. In fact, let's boost that in the short term here. Okay, well, I'm glad that wasn't more insidious, although this should still produce without recyclables. Jeez. Yeah. This is cool. All right, this is good to know. I mean, it's a pretty active system, right? I have to pay attention to that and notice it, but I just vent it as a backup. I could set this up into a proper cooling tower as well and actually get the water back a bit better, but also not the end of the world. Okay. This system is running. Which means these are ready to start upgrading. Because we are running the whole 2x system over here. The only thing that this doesn't cover is will require a little bit of supplemental glass. So I think, is it crazy to start upgrading? It does feel like we're a little bit seat of our pants here from time to time. I think we're gonna do it. Slowly. But also surely. So each one of these that we double, because each one of these, one PCB and one electronics 1, each supports 2 of these. So doing 1 on each of these means that we can do 1 here and here as well. Cool. We're filling up on coal here just fine. Do you not have trucks? Where are your trucks? Your mine tower didn't collapse, did it? Oh my gosh, is that what happened here? I think we might have collapsed our mine tower. That would be very funny. Yeah, because we no longer have anything controlling this area. Oh wow, that's very, very entertaining. I've never actually done that. Oops. In fact, you know what? Let's just get everybody scraping out here. I want to be done with this. Is this system working yet? Kind of. It could be better, but here comes the coal train. Look at all that sweet, sweet coal. Boy, does our base ever need that? Oh, there it goes. You love to see it. Off one train and onto another. Trash. Fascinating. Oh, it must just be the... That's the collapsed mine tower. That's very funny. Okay, but like, let's stop digging over here then, right? I think that's all of the coal that you're gonna find. Ah, damn it. Ah, well. What can you do? Admittedly, that is very funny. Definitely hogging all the coal out here, huh? I think that's okay, though. Guess what we could do is only output to the train if there's enough that our manufacturing area, like our trucks, can come pull from this. So maybe that's something to do. right, that's good. Getting there on electric. That will probably be what prevents us from achieving the entirety of the vision here, but let's see. Doing more? So where are we going to have belt throughput issues? 24 times 5. Should still fit on a 200 belt. This electronics 1 is definitely going to need an upgrade. So let's do that. So each of these should fit on its own 200 belt, but anytime they're merged, I think we're going to need to upgrade. Right, everything seems to be running pretty smoothly here. Everyone's getting what they need input-wise. We kind of have some power headroom even somehow still. I think we should keep upgrading, right? Home stretch. This is the second to last set. One more to go. And we actually even have a decent amount of stored up. Let's upgrade the storage too. All right, almost there. Just need a few more parts 4. We can start here. Not enough plastic. Oh my gosh, finally. Yay. Oh, that's good. Because I can finally justify at least building one more of these. Very funny still. How much of an overbuild that was. We need to keep that up higher as well. The rubbers also... Now I'm curious, I think it's a truck network import issue. Yeah, it is. We totally have the rubber. Ooh, water. Yikes. Oh, the fuel gas is not being exported enough. To be clear though, we are still under 160. Okay, good. So this just needs a small reprieve. We're doing it. We're definitely forcing it. We're definitely gonna have a mess to clean up afterwards. But it's happening. We have officially doubled our electronics 2 production. We now produce 120 electronics 2 per minute. 1, 2 per second. Every second, one's rolling off each of these lines. Pretty cool. All right, well, it was a ride, certainly, but we did it. And we reinforced power along the way. We upgraded a bunch of other stuff, including glass. And we even got to play around a little bit with some power tech. So, not bad. All right. Well, hey, I enjoyed myself. I hope you did too. If you did, be sure to stop in again for the next one. But until then, have a good rest of your day, and bye-bye.